Level 1, the couch potato. You're 26 years old, and a single flight of stairs leaves you breathing hard. Not one. At the landing, you pull out your phone like you suddenly have an important message, buying yourself a few seconds to recover. Everyone can tell. You can tell too, because this little performance has been going on for 4 years. Food is whatever takes the smallest amount of energy to obtain. Pasta at 10:40 p.m. because the day got away from you. Chips because the bag is already beside your keyboard. Energy drinks is because coffee doesn't hit anymore. You forget to eat, then when you finally do, you make the worst possible choice. Your body feels less like a body and more like equipment that was never maintained after leaving the factory. The moment that snaps people awake is never exactly the same. For you, it happens in a picture. A friend uploads a group shot from a birthday party to Instagram. You stare at your own face and body in it for way too long. That was not the version of yourself you carried around in your head. You've dodged mirrors, stepped out of cameras, looked away from every reflection you could. This time, there is nowhere to hide. The proof is sitting on the screen. You still don't begin tomorrow. Almost nobody does. For 10 days, you just think about changing. At midnight, you binge motivational clips. You scroll Reddit stories about people who rebuilt themselves from nothing. You promise yourself you'll start on Wednesday. Wednesday arrives, and you don't. The next Wednesday passes the same way. By the fourth Wednesday, you finally lace up your shoes, step outside, and walk for 17 minutes. It is humiliating how difficult 17 minutes feels. Then you go again the following day, and again after that. Tiny steps, no glory, but real. Level 1, the beginner. After 7 weeks of evening walks, you finally decide to sign up for a gym. You've delayed it because gyms feel like hostile territory. Everyone inside appears to understand the rules except you. You barely know what half the equipment is called. The last thing you want is to look clueless. So, you go when the place is almost empty. You head straight for the treadmill because at least the treadmill makes sense. You jog for 9 minutes, then walk until the 28 minutes are done. You do a few uncomfortable stretches and leave. No one cared. Not one person was watching. That's when it hits you. The gym is packed with people obsessing over their own workouts, not yours. So you return. You try machines. You actually read the little diagrams printed on them. You study other lifters and imitate the motion. After a while, you find a beginner program online. 4 days per week, full body. Squats, bench press, rows, shoulder press, deadlifts. The plain compound lifts that show up everywhere for a reason. You follow the plan. The first time you squat with weight, it's just the empty bar, 18 kilograms. Your legs wobble, and your technique is almost certainly ugly. It doesn't matter. You completed the set. The following week, you add 4 kilograms, then add more again after that. The system is basic, but it feels good because it is visible. The numbers rise, and that means you are getting better. 7 months later, you are different. Not transformed into a superhero, not dramatically unrecognizable, but when you face the mirror now, the person looking back is no longer the one from that birthday photo. You stand taller now. Your shirts and jeans sit on your body in a new way. You have more fuel during the day. Nights are easier, and sleep actually feels restorative. A staircase no longer leaves you ruined. None of that is minor. It matters. You have begun something real. Level 1, the gym regular. 1 year of steady training is behind you. By now, the gym feels almost as familiar as your kitchen at home. You know which benches are usually open and which machines will be occupied on Wednesday evenings. You even have a favorite squat rack, and when someone else gets there first, it bothers you more than you want to admit. Food has changed for you as well. At first, you counted calories just to see what was happening, and then you noticed the truth. You were usually overshooting or undershooting without realizing it. You figured out protein, what your body actually requires, and how far you had been from that target. So you made changes. You eat more vegetables than at any other point in your life, not because you suddenly love them, but because you finally understand their purpose. Then you hit your first stall. For 4 weeks, the scale stayed put and your lifts refused to climb. You freaked out. You searched for answers. Eventually, you understood that you had to eat more. So you did. And the stall ended. That taught you something important. Your body adjusts, and if you want progress, you have to adjust too. Then the changes start showing up beyond the gym. You take the stairs automatically. You pick up heavy objects without instantly hunting for a place to drop them. Your walking pace is quicker. Even the way you sit has shifted. Fitness is leaking into ordinary life in ways you never predicted. People at work begin asking what you have been doing. You explain it. Some listen with interest, others doubt it. One coworker tries the gym for 10 days and disappears. Another keeps going a year later. You did not turn everyone into believers, but you left the idea in their heads. Level 4, the diet researcher. 20 months in, and now you have fallen deep into the nutrition maze. Macros, micronutrients, meal timing, intermittent fasting, carnivore, keto, calorie cycling, protein synthesis, insulin sensitivity. You are reading studies now. On your commute, you play podcasts at double speed. You know more about nutrition than most people who have only looked into it casually. You test intermittent fasting. You only eat from 12:30 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. The opening week is awful. All morning you are hungry and food occupies your mind constantly. The following week is less brutal. By week 5, it feels normal. You are not sure whether the fasting itself is working or whether you are simply consuming fewer calories. It does not matter to you. The scale is moving again. For 4 months, you log everything that goes into your mouth, not now and then. Every meal, every snack, every bite. You become the person in a restaurant who looks up the nutrition facts online before choosing an order. Your friends are mildly annoyed by it. You get why, but you cannot switch it off. Once you know something, it is difficult to pretend you do not. The way you see food is changed at the root. Not flawlessly. You still make poor food choices here and there, but now you know exactly what you are doing when you make them. The exchange is clear to you. One piece of birthday cake is not a disaster. Finishing the entire thing is a decision, and you can almost work out the cost before the fork reaches your mouth. The automatic eating has mostly stopped. In its place, there is intention. Level 5, the goal setter. 4 years in, simply showing up for casual workouts no longer feels like enough. You want something to chase, so you register for a 12K race. Until now, the farthest you've ever run is 6 kilometers. The event is 4 months away. You use a structured plan, 1 run per week, slowest adding distance, with the longest session saved for weekends. Those longer runs test more than your legs. They test your head. Spending 41 minutes alone with nothing except your breathing and your thoughts turns out to be its own kind of trial. Your mind drifts to your job, to your relationships, to the subjects you have been carefully stepping around. Running becomes therapy you never booked and never paid for. Then race day comes. Around 720 people gather near the start. The energy is unreal. You have never stood inside a running event before. Everyone seems more prepared, leaner, more legitimate. You worry you are about to look ridiculous. The signal goes off and you move. You finish in 57 minutes. By the standards of serious runners, that means very little. To you, it means everything because for the first time ever, you covered 12 kilometers without stopping. When you pass the finish line, something hits you that you have not felt in years. Real pride in your body. Pride in what it can handle and in what you trained it to do over months of work. The following week, you register for a half marathon. Level 6, the dedicated athlete. After 4 years of steady train sitting, your ambitions are far beyond what you pictured at the beginning. You are running half marathons now. You have begun lifting with real focus. You are considering your first physique contest, or maybe your first powerlifting meet. Something judged. Something that demands you be ready on one exact day. You choose powerlifting. One lift, squat, bench press, and deadlift. Your result is based on the combined weight of all one. You give yourself 14 weeks before your first meet. You bring in a coach. Not just a trainer wandering the gym floor, but a real strength coach who writes programs for competitive lifters. The change is obvious right away. Your old training was loose and scattered. This is exact. Every workout has a reason. Today is heavy squats. Friday is speed work. Every set is tied to a percentage of your 1 rep max. Easier deload weeks are planned before you even need them. Your bedtime becomes stricter. Your food is organized around strength and performance, not shrinking your body. Then competition day arrives. You weigh in, you start warming up. You have 1 attempt for each lift. The rack does not feel like the one at your gym. The platform, the judges, the crowd, the pressure, none of it feels familiar. Your opening attempt is safe. You hit it without trouble. The first attempt is heavier. You fight through it and get it done. Your final attempt is for a new personal best. You make the lift, the room erupts. Strangers are shouting for you like they have known you for years. Your total is 435 kilograms over the 1 lift. You finish 4th in your weight class. It is your debut meet, and that is all it takes. You are hooked. Level 7, the Fitness Obsessive. 5 years deep, training is no longer something you fit into life. It is the thing your life is arranged around. Your calendar is built around sessions. Your meals are timed around performance. Every invitation gets measured against the question, will this interfere with training? You have said no to things you genuinely wanted because a hard workout was waiting early the next day. Your friends do not all react the same way. Some respect the commitment. Others wonder if you have crossed a line. But the people at your gym understand without explanation because they are wired the same way. You now have another circle of friends built around people who care about the same strange details you do. They celebrate personal records. They know why recovery sleep matters. They do not blink when you spend Saturdays preparing meals for the week. Then you deal with your most serious injury so far, a shoulder problem from pressing too heavy, too frequently, and not recovering enough. 7 weeks with no upper body pressing. It feels crushing. But then you figure out that your legs can take more work. So you push your lower body harder than ever. By the time the shoulder is ready again, your legs are stronger and your mindset has changed. You understand now that showing up for years beats destroying yourself on one heroic day. Your body is not the same body you had 5 years ago, and the change is not only physical. It is in your posture, your movement, your confidence, the way you approach anything hard. You are no longer the person who got breathless after a single flight of stairs. That version of you feels almost fictional now. Level 8, the coach. 6 years of serious training, and people keep turning to you for guidance. In the gym, at work, and online, where you have been sharing training content. So you decide to become certified as a personal trainer. You study, pass the exam, and begin coaching clients outside your main job. Very quickly, you learn that coaching is not the same skill as training. Training yourself means understanding your own body. Coaching means learning how to explain, encourage, adjust, and design programs for people who are nothing like you. Your early clients are beginners, and the gym scares them in the exact way it once scared you. You remember that feeling, so you use it. You make the place feel less hostile, less confusing, less like it belongs to someone else. One client loses 18 kilograms over 9 months. Another improves his blood pressure markers enough that his doctor lowers his medication. Another woman completes her debut race at 49 years old. Those moments hit harder than any personal record you have ever set. You are not just building your own body anymore. You are helping other people change their lives through fitness. More clients come in. Your side coaching turns into meaningful income. You grow an online presence and keep posting about training, nutrition, and the mindset required to stay consistent. People follow because you do not pretend the process is easy. You let people see the beginning, not only the polished finish. You have become a piece of another person's path, just like coaches, articles, videos, and strangers on the internet once helped shape yours. Level 9, the elite athlete. After 8 years of training, you have treated specialization like a serious commitment. You have spent 4 years competing in powerlifting. Your lifts are no longer just impressive at your gym. They put you around the top 6% in the country for your weight class. Your name is even discussed for the national team. Competing overseas with your flag on your back was never the dream at the start. Back then, the whole goal was simply to stop losing your breath on a single flight of stairs. Preparation now feels nothing like the early days. During the hardest blocks, you train once daily with total focus. Every detail is managed. Sleep is tracked. Blood panels are checked 1 time a year. Heart rate variability is recorded before the day really begins. Your body is handled like high-grade equipment because at this standard, that is exactly what it has become. You step onto international platforms. You are not the very best. The very best are performing in ways that look almost impossible for a human body. But you belong there. You are close enough to learn from the strongest athletes alive by standing near them, warming up beside them, and competing under the same lights. Every international meet expands your idea of what the body can do when a person commits completely. Level 10, the transformed person. You are 35 years old. It has been 11 years since you saw yourself in that birthday party photo. 11 years since you stood at the top of a single flight of stairs and pretended your phone needed checking. The person you are today and the person you were then still answer to the same name. Beyond that, there is not much resemblance. The physical change is easy to see, but the deeper shift is how you respond to hard things. Difficulty no longer sends you searching for the nearest exit. You have taught yourself to treat discomfort as useful, to move toward the unpleasant work because that is where progress usually hides. You coach, you compete, you make content. You have built an entire life around something that began as panic after seeing a picture you hated. You have helped scores of people become healthier, more confident, and more capable in their own bodies. Not because you were born exceptional, but because you kept going. Because you trained when motivation was gone. Because you stayed through stalls, setbacks, injuries, and ordinary life trying to interrupt you. And somewhere right now, someone is standing at the top of a single flight of stairs, pretending to look at their phone. Maybe it was a photo, a remark, a medical warning, or one sharp moment of honesty that finally made them notice what they had been avoiding. They are planning to begin on Wednesday. Maybe this time they really will. If they keep showing up, they will not recognize themselves 11 years from now.